Mandela, and he had these words to say. In his death, the world has lost a great leader whose steadfast and unflinching determination played a key role in securing peace and reconciliation during South Africa's transition from apartheid rule. Under his leadership, South Africa was transformed through peaceful means in the spirit of reconciliation. He was a man of courage, principle, and unquestionable integrity, a great human being, someone of whom we can truly say he lived a meaningful life. I pray for him and offer my heartfelt condolences to you, the members of your family, and the entire people of South Africa. That message from the Dalai Lama, a Nobel Prize winner who was expressing condolences on the passing of Nelson Mandela. Well, Dr. Mulder, what is the one thing that you as a leader in your own right will take from the life of Nelson Mandela?
Well, I think I was in negotiations with him quite often. I had breakfast with him more than once, one-on-one. He was a very friendly man, a humble man, but he had a very strong will. He knew exactly what he wanted, and it was a tough one when you started negotiating and arguing with him. I think what he said broadly that I quite remember, and I think is still valid today, he said that in every group, or every people if you want, there's good people and there's bad people. And it's not that all those are bad and all these are good. It's not that simple. And then in the second phase was when the good ones from all the different groupings can come together, we can solve a lot of problems and make this a beautiful country. But if the bad ones come together, then we're in trouble. And I think that's still correct. There's wise people all over, and if they can come together, surely we can do it. And maybe his most famous speech was the one about I fought white domination, I fought black domination. And the question is, how valid is that still today? And are we still in that fight? And have we still solved that problem or not? I think that's the test for the future as well, yeah.
Would you say he has had an impact in your own personal growth, both as a leader, but also as a human being?
Well, it's difficult to say. You know, South Africa totally changed in a certain sense. I think when you meet people on the other side, of course, there's all sorts of hoga perceptions that we all have of each other. And in that sense, he was in a sense different than maybe the perceptions were. And when you met each other, surely that's human beings with children, with South Africa at heart, trying to solve the problems. And I think that was more or less the sort of common ground you get, simple as that. And then you try to get some solution and to solve the problems, yeah. I think the other thing on his side also, and I was in a lot of debates when I was a young man, where the argument was, can one man make a difference in politics? And I was very clever and I said, no, it's not possible. Politics is so complicated, so many factors that play influence. And I was wrong. I think one man at the right time, with the right way of doing things, do make a difference.
And you think Nelson Mandela was that man?
Well, in South Africa, he did that as well as abroad. And I take that as a lesson for myself, trying to make a difference as one man on his own, yeah.
What is the single most important thing for you that you think we would not have done or would not have been able to do as a nation?
Well, I think
without Nelson Mandela?
Well, I think he created that atmosphere. I don't want to compare necessarily. I looked at some of Mr. Mugabe's speeches, Mr. Mandela's speeches, and the emphasis are quite different. And surely then you create a different atmosphere. And it's so important to create a certain atmosphere within negotiations can take part, within people can then react. Because if it's a tit-for-tat situation, it goes worse and worse, and you go down in a spiral into violence. If you say that, I'm reacting to this. But if you play the moral high ground, then surely the pressure on the other side to do the same. And I think that's a sort of style that was important for all of us, yeah.
If you were to advise to leave this room and speak to your constituency, what is the one trait that you would ask them to take from Nelson Mandela? And what would be the single most important thing you would ask them to do in Mandela's honor?
Well, I think we're all South Africans. We're all committed to this country. I'm here for 350 years, if I must go back to that, and we must make a success of it. If this ship sinks, if I talk about that, it sinks with all of us. So if the forest starts burning, it burns all of us. And I think that's an important lesson. Then surely, then you can start and look after your own interest and try to get common ground. Because in the end, that's the way of good negotiations. Your interest, and then marry that with a common interest. And if you can get that, then surely you succeeded.
Dr. Pieter Mulder, leader of the Freedom Front Plus, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.